Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to my respected lecturer and everyone watching this video. My name is Laudia Sofianti. My student number is 22232402122 and I'm from class 4D of the English Education Department at Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa. Today I am very honored to present my final examination portfolio for the learning planning on English language teaching course. In this presentation, I will break down the lesson plan or module ajar that I have designed for senior high school students. Let us begin with the project overview. This lesson plan is engineered for Phase F, specifically tailored for grade 11 students. The core instructional material chosen is analytical exposition text, which is contextualized within social issues awareness. This entire unit is designed to be completed across 3 meetings with time allocation of 3 times 45 minutes. The target instructional setting for this design is SMA Negeri Multo Cempaka Putih. Moving on to the foundational instructional design ideas, this planning integrates 2 core academic frameworks. First, it implements the genre-based approach, or GBA, which systematically scaffolds students' learning from receptive skills to active skills. Second, it embeds the TPACK framework, incorporating technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge to ensure that digital tools like Canva and curated audio media directly stimulate higher order critical thinking. There are 2 primary learning objectives established for this teaching module. By the end of the instructional cycle, through intensive listening and text analysis, students will be able to, first, identify main ideas, relevant details, and specific vocabulary within analytical exposition text. Second, they will be able to actively respond to oral social issues by conveying their personal opinions, whether agreeing or disagreeing, with clear pronunciation and structural accuracy. To achieve these goals, the learning journey follows the 4 complete stages of GBA cycle. It starts with building knowledge of the field, proceeds to modeling of text, transition into joint construction of text, and culminates in independent construction of text. Let us examine how each stage unfolds in the classroom. In the first stage, building knowledge of field, I introduce a highly engaging and relatable hook. We will utilize Taylor Swift's popular track, it's The Man, to initiate a critical discussion on gender-related social issues by identifying the core messages within the lyrics. Students are triggered to share their initial perspectives, lowering their anxiety and warming them up for complex topic. The second stage is the modeling of text. Here, explicit instruction takes place. I introduce the generic structure of the text, the thesis, the argument, and the reiteration. To build oral fluency, I implement the shadowing technique, where students actively listen and mimic native intonation. We also focus on expanding their vocabulary with essential opinion expressions such as from a perspective or I strongly contend that. Next is stage 3, joint construction of text. This is a collaborative phase where students work in groups of 3 or to 4. Utilizing Canva, they will collectively design an argument mind map based on a chosen social issue before they are required to speak independently. The final stage is independent construction of text, which functions as our summative performance assessment. Here we conduct a mini classroom debate. Students independently take a stand on a social issue, deliver structured oral arguments, respond swiftly to counter arguments, and fully utilize their communicative competence and critical thinking skills. To ensure the success of this ecosystem, the technological integration is strictly aligned with TPACK. We use authentic audiovisual materials like song lyrics and educational podcasts for guided analysis. We use digital or printed worksheets or LKPD. Lastly, Canva acts as the creative platform for visual mapping and students' collaboration. To evaluate students' outcomes, a comprehensive three-tier assessment is applied. Diagnostic assessment using KWL charts, formative assessment with a collaborative mind map rubric, and summative assessment through a detailed debate rubric. My reflection as a teacher indicates that while vocabulary gaps remain a primary challenge, the scaffolding provided by the GBA cycle and the shadowing technique effectively empowers students to progress from silent listening to critical speaking. That concludes my portfolio presentation for the final examination of learning planning on English language teaching. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I welcome any constructive feedback, questions, or suggestions to further refine this module. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.